Hello everyone and welcome to another DrAce video. Today we are going to be playing MotoGP 24 once again, and of course we're going to be using the Martinator, Jorge Martin. Now the news has broken officially by Aprilia, by MotoGP and some other trustworthy sources as well, and Jorge Martin has officially signed with the Noale group. He has signed with the Piaggio group, which is Aprilia. I honestly am shocked. I don't know why I didn't see that coming, but it just didn't seem like that would materialise for me. So today what we're going to do is just run a couple of laps here in Sokol in Kazakhstan with Jorge Martin, just doing some laps in free practice because time trial unfortunately is completely broken for me. So I just wanted to do some laps, but with the opportunity just to talk to you guys without having to commentate on an actual race here today. So I'm going to chuck in as many laps as I can until we've pretty much discussed everything that needs to be discussed regarding Jorge Martin's move to the Italian brand. Now, first things first, I will be honest with you, I was 90% convinced, maybe more, that this man on the screen right now was going to the Factory Ducati team. Really felt like that was going to be the be-all and end-all of the season. Once that had been sorted, everything else would probably slot into place and there probably wouldn't be that much drama or excitement within the rider transfers. But shock horror, he has gone to Aprilia, and I've got to be honest with you, I didn't see it coming, but I'm pleased to see it because this completely changes the dynamic of MotoGP as we know it here in 2024. Next season, of course, all these changes will take place, so that's where it will get really exciting. But to see Jorge Martin make that decision to say, you know what, I'm fed up of Ducati just dangling this carrot. I've done enough. I've done more than enough to secure the Factory Ducati seat. I'm going to look elsewhere. And I cannot fault that opportunity for Martin. I cannot fault his decision to do that. Because a lot of things about riding, I'm not a rider myself, I'm not a racer myself either, but I can imagine from backing yourself up in any job you've ever done, you have to believe in yourself. And if your management, your team, your higher-ups, your hierarchy doesn't believe in you as much as you believe in yourself, it's not going to work. And I really feel that Aprilia approaching Martin having that discussion with them just opening their doors with open arms and welcoming him in as the star of Aprilia was definitely enough to have him walk out the door of Ducati and join Aprilia. And I've got to say, I completely support that decision. It's not nice to have carrots dangled in front of you. He feels he should have had that seat already, comparing it against Renee Bastianini. Of course, the season concluded. He felt like he should have had it the next year as well. Still didn't get it. And of course now he's looking at it and thinking, why am I still asking for this seat when I should already have it? I understand where Martin's coming from, and I think it's a terrific decision to join such a brilliant team. And I think the sky is the limit for Aprilia. They're constantly improving every single season. We've had 2 winners on the Aprilia this season, with both the form of Aleix Espargaro in a sprint and Maverick Vinales in a Grand Prix and a sprint as well. So honestly, the Aprilia best package on the bike in terms of aerodynamics, really dominating that part of a stable, enjoyable, easy motorcycle to ride. I think all 4 Aprilia riders seem to enjoy it. Miguel Oliveira not having the best of times at the moment, but I think that could be down to more of himself more than the motorcycle, not entirely sure. But I really do feel that this is a move that is going to really surprise all of us. I think it could be pretty much a seamless transition. Jump onto the other Aprilia, or the other Italian motorcycle, which is the Aprilia, and just prove Ducati wrong. I was kind of hoping that Martin would go to the Factory Ducati, then Enea Bastianini would slot into the Aprilia seat, and then he would be the man to show up Ducati and show them what talent he's got and why he should never have been dropped from the Factory Ducati seat in the first place. But the absolute parity that is here in MotoGP now is excellent, and it's exciting. Already reports of Marc Marquez signing with the Factory Ducati seat, but I haven't seen an official side for that yet, so I'm not going to report on it because I don't care for tittle-tattles and rumours unless it's actually signed, sealed and delivered. MotoGP has given the announcement, and some of your top MotoGP journalists are actually giving the honest answer. I'm not really going to look too much into it. Of course, we'll speculate, because that's fun. That's exciting. But I'm not going to read into it as if something is a done deal unless pen is put to paper. And I'll also extend that to Enea Bastianini. I'm hearing reports that he's joining the Tech 3 KTM team next season. Yeah, whatever. We'll discuss it when he actually does put pen to paper. I'll just make a slight track limit warning there. That's invalidated this lap, my mistake. But regarding Martin, I think it's a very interesting decision. Of course, it opens the doors now for Ducati to make their decision easier, because now they only really need to look at the likes of Enea Bastianini, Marc Marquez, possibly some of the other factory Ducati riders. You know, it might seem a little bit silly to think now, but the likes of Digi Antonio, Marco Bezzecchi, Alex Marquez, Franco Morbidelli, you know, there's a lot of riders still up for grabs in Ducatis already. Do they want to go the route of picking Marc Marquez and possibly upsetting Pecco Bagnaia? Maybe. I guess he's an 8-times world champion. He's one of the best riders in the grid. You don't really want to miss up that opportunity, but you also don't want to mess up the equilibrium that you've already got with a rider as star-studded as the double MotoGP world champion in the form of Pecco Bagnaia. So I think that's a really tough choice, but for me, my option from the beginning was always to choose Enea Bastianini, to let Martin walk, to let Marquez stay at the Gresini Ducati, but give him factory support. That always seemed like a no-brainer to me, but if this is true, that Martin, of course, is going to Aprilia, Enea Bastianini moves elsewhere, then they've only got one rider to choose, and the former Marc Marquez, if you really want instant success. I'm not sure how Ducati had 3 options and fumbling a brilliant problem to now only be able to choose one. It's a bit of a surprise as far as I'm concerned, but obviously Enea hasn't gone yet, and I still very much feel that Enea Bastianini will be given the seats, providing that the information we've been given so far is just rumours and tittle-tattle. I do feel that they'll just pick the easy option. I think it makes sense. Leave Enea Bastianini with Pecco in the factory team and give Marc Marquez the factory support, but for the Gresini team, so he doesn't have to move his sponsors and anything else like that over to the Pramac team instead. Now, regarding Pramac Ducati, they're still going to have Franco Morbidelli and Fermin Aldeguer. It's not confirmed that Morbidelli will stay, but I can imagine them picking the easy option and probably staying with Franco. He is getting back into some form now. Of course, 4th place in Mugello in the sprint. He was pretty good in the race as well. I think he also finished 5th place somewhere around there. Le Mans didn't go too bad, and to be honest, he has been looking quite decent, but just had a couple of crashes in the midst. It's not like he's down out the top 10 in crashing. He's up there towards the top 5. So maybe Franco Morbidelli will get given another chance and be given an opportunity to stay with the Pramac Ducati team. Possibly he'll move on to something else. Not entirely sure. But also the opportunity for Aprilia. I didn't realise this until today, as a matter of fact, that Maverick Vinales is not signed up for another season with the Aprilia team. So there's every chance that we could see 2 new riders for Aprilia. Now, of course, Aleix Espargaro will still very much be there as a captain role, probably part of the crew chief, possibly a rider coach, or maybe even a test rider. I definitely think he'll stick round the Noale factory, just don't know where exactly. So I think he carries a lot of pull and inspiration. So to encourage the likes of Jorge Martin to join the team, who else could be next? Could it be another Spaniard that Aleix Espargaro will bring towards the Noale factory? He's done it with Maverick, he's done it with Jorge Martin. Who could be next? I guess that is a question we don't know yet, but we'll soon find out, no doubt. Now, of course, Aprilia did mention they wanted to get an Italian on their Italian motorcycle, so that's why I'm still thinking it could be someone like Enea Bastianini. You never know. What a crazy situation that would be for Ducati. Not only lose one of the riders, but both in their factory teams, or potential of a factory team, to another Italian factory team. That would be unbelievable. But honestly, right now, silly season is in full effect. It absolutely is, and it's kicking off big style with one signing. There are so many seats available for next season. It could be musical chairs, but who knows? It's going to be exciting, and I cannot wait. It's just disappointing now that we've got a 3-week gap until we go to Assen. I will thoroughly enjoy watching Assen as always. Best track in the world, no doubt, in MotoGP. So I really can't wait to see what happens there. And if everything's fallen in place, Marquez has signed, Enea Bastianini's gone somewhere, Marco Bezzecchi, Di Gianantonio, Binder. Oh, it could all really kick off. I think Binder and Acosta will be the team in Factory KTM. I can't see that changing unless Marquez joins the KTM. I have heard rumours about that as well. That could be very interesting. I always wanted Marquez to move to KTM when KTM started to improve. Around 2018, 2019, I was really hoping that once Marquez had won that championship, he would try something new. Now, the thing is with Marquez, when he was on the top of the game and the best motorcycle in the world, best rider in the world back in 2019, I was begging for him to move over to a motorcycle that has not got a winning record and change it. Take the history books and absolutely flip it on its head and have Marquez the start of a new bike, a new project, and win. Very eerily similar to something like Valentino Rossi from Honda to Yamaha, winning instantly, putting Yamaha back on the map. I really wanted Marquez to do this with the KTM in 2020, but unfortunately he signed with the Honda and crashed, of course, and then re-signed with Honda and then finally moved over to the best motorcycle on the grid, which I think is a damn shame because I was always told that Marquez can win on any motorcycle, and I really felt that probably could have been true. Now he's on the Ducati on the best motorcycle, he hasn't won yet. So now I'm thinking, is this Marquez's last opportunity to win with a bike? If you can't win on the Ducati, then I'm not sure you can win on any other motorcycle. I've heard people say he needs a factory Ducati seat. I don't feel that should be applicable. The difference between GP23, GP24 is not that big. And of course he is doing the best on the GP23, so he is talented and he can definitely get a win. Looks ahead to something like the Sachsenring and he could very well be on the top step of the podium. But to wait that long for Ducati to decide if they want Marquez in the factory Ducati seat or not certainly adds stress and pressure on themselves, where they could miss out not on just one, not just two, but possibly three main protagonists of their chance of getting into this Ducati campaign they call the factory Ducati seat. I don't know. I really don't know. I'd like to see where Marquez is going to go. I do feel though if he joins the factory Ducati team, I don't think it'll work well with Pecco Bagnaia. That's not a disrespect to Marquez, because I would have said the same and did say the same if Martin was going to join with Pecco. I just don't see it working. There's no camaraderie, there's a lot of respect, but there's certainly no friendship amongst those two, where Bastianini and Pecco are quite decent, good friends, I would say. I don't think they dislike each other, even when Enea was on the Grissini Ducati, really pressuring Pecco. Never really had a bad thing to say about Enea and vice versa. Enea never said anything bad about Pecco Bagnaia, so I do really wonder what is going to happen for the factory Ducati team. Don't know what decision they're going to make. Hopefully soon it'll be announced, because it'd be nice to report on the next part. Does seem quite obvious that Marquez will get it, but I really don't know, because I didn't foresee Martin going to Aprilia, you know what I mean? So it's hard to see, yeah, this is definitely going to happen. So who knows? My hands are raised in the air as much as you do, shrugging at the opportunities of understanding which ride is going to go where. Of course, Marco Bezzecchi not having a great season this year, but he's still linked to certain seats. A factory Aprilia, a different Aprilia, maybe a Pramac Ducati seat. There is rumours of a movement within the VR46 camp as well, so who knows? Maverick Vinales, maybe he surprises us and maybe he moves ship from an Italian bike to another Italian motorcycle. Who knows? There is one I want to discuss there. We seen him a minute ago on track. I have heard a rumour about Davide Brivio wanting to bring in Joan Mir to the Trackhouse Aprilia team. And I've got to say, if there's one person to give Mir the confidence and belief again and to distill it into the Spaniard, it would be Davide Brivio. Success in 2020 with the Suzuki project, World Championship. Can they at least gain back some form if he joined the Aprilia team? Amazing motorcycle. Joan Mir is one hell of a talent, but just cannot showcase it on the RC213V. And I think the biggest example of that is look at Johan Zarco last season. A Grand Prix winner for the first time in Phillip Island. Near enough to the podium almost every single round. he is nowhere this season on the RC213V. Luca Marini got a couple of podiums last season with the GP22. Competitive in quite a lot of races, even had a pole position as well. I think it was in... I can't remember exactly which one it was. I know he had a good result in Bud in the Indian GP, Bud International Circuit, but I really can't see that performance correlating well to the Honda, and it hasn't. He's really struggling. He's at the back of the grid, still yet to score points. You can't knock Joan Mir for the Honda being so bad. You have to think how good Taka Nakagami would be as well without that Honda. Alex Marquez didn't have a good time on the Honda. Moved across the Ducati, everything was peachy. A sprint win in Silverstone. So, yeah, a lot of questions this season, and I'm all for it. I really can't wait. Would like to see a couple more Yamahas on the grid to increase the productivity and development of the M1, should I say. Alex Rins and Fabio Quartararo are doing a good enough job, to be fair, and they're doing the best job they can. But they need extra support. They need to expedite that project so it's starting to show more improvement than it is right now. But I do hope you've enjoyed the video so far, guys. I think I'll call it another lap, and then I think we'll start looking at ending this video, because I don't want to waffle on. I'm really keen to talk about it, but I want to hear from you guys, because I think more interesting about a conversation is when other parties get involved as well. But all I can say is we're absolutely spoiled, and I can't wait for next season. The two best riders in the world, MotoGP, have got to have Pecco Bagnaia, Jorge Martin, splitting from teams. Pecco in the top team. Aprilia have now got Martin. Could Martin win it this season and take the #1 plate to Aprilia? That would be bonkers, and I don't think Ducati would like that one bit. Will Marquez get back onto the top step of the podium this year? Will he prove to Ducati that he's the man to put in that seat? Or are we going to get a complete surprise that we did not foresee? I don't know. Answers in the comment section below, guys and girls. Let me know. Also, big thank you from yesterday's video for all the positive comments and praise and approval for my joining of becoming a commentator. It was a very special experience for me, so I do really appreciate you guys letting me know and giving me that support, and it's just appreciate it a lot. So yeah, guys, one more lap then, get into the final corner. I don't think I'm going to improve on this lap time, actually. I got a bit of a spin earlier on, and the rear tyre's grip has dropped. So yeah, as we cross the line, it isn't quite going to be good enough, but there's still some good lap times nonetheless. So there you are then, guys. That is it from me. We managed to finish on the top of the pile against 120% AI. I'll take that. Not a bad lap time at all, if I do say so myself. But guys, thanks for watching. Once again, thanks for the comments yesterday. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments section down below what you think about Martin going to Aprilia, and I'll see you tomorrow for more videos. Ciao for now. Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite sate your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.